Hello, everyone. A very, very hot afternoon to you. It's a hot afternoon in Ghana. I don't know where you are at the moment. We are doing about some 2 minutes into the hour of 2. You're welcome to Be Frank live on Precious Television. We also live on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube at Precious TV Official. My name is Smart Techi Nixon. We're still on the awareness of the Men's Mental Health Month, the month of June. Minjai Kada. I will not stop saying it. I want you to know that 6 million people in the United States of America suffer from depression, and all these 6 million people are males. Out of this 6 million, 80% die from suicide. And these are staggering statistics that we need to bring to the fore for the conversation to be enlightened the more, because it looks as if some experts are saying men are disposable. Is that the case? If that is not, then let's really increase the awareness on men's mental health. Out of this number, the 3 contributory factors to the death of most men: number 1 is work, number 2 is finances, and number 3 is health. So on top of it is their work. And 72% of the people that die at work are men. Amen. So please, let's increase the conversation because it matters. It is okay not to be okay. If you're a man, from a brother to another brother, if you are not okay, talk to someone. Talk to someone. It is very, very important. The nation is doing its bit, but the whole of Ghana, we have only 5 psychiatric centers, and out of the 5, only 3 are working. So aside God, you also have work to do. You also have a lot of work to do. What do I mean by that? It means that with a nation that is focused on building more universal health care, we have more prayer camps than health centers. Over 5,000 prayer camps. And so you have most of the people who are struggling with any sort of mental illness being sent to prayer centers and prayer camps and the herbalist rather than a health center to be diagnosed by a professional. But then again, today's focus is much bigger than just the awareness. We are taking a look at the Christian and their work ethic. Perspective would be on Ghana, and you are not ready for this conversation because it is something that a lot of people like to shy away from. But today we'll dissect it on this platform. To Be Frank is the only Christian podcast that is frank about the societal issues that we have in the country. In the studios today to help me with the conversation, we have KB, the MC.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Charlie, how's it going, man?
Everything cool, boss.
Nice one. It's Wednesday, Charlie. I forgot the Wednesday buns. Thank you.
Thank you.
The rest of them can take their greetings from the floor. We don't care like that. Lucy is in the studio this afternoon.
Hey.
Lucy, how you doing?
Good, you?
Charlie, this week, you say what spec pa or one maswe jinaso pa. It's going good. Pastor Newton is here. Ozovo. Offering koye. The work ethic. What you say?
No, it's a good question.
Yeah, sometimes motivation makes your ethics become strong.
Yes, so
You never know. Pastor Newton, how is it going?
I'm doing greater than Accra.
Hey, Kaswa for you. The Kaswa people are disturbing. They are greater than Accra.
Yeah.
Anyway, Miss Ginger is also here with us
We miss
today.
her,
Ginger, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Nice.
good.
Well, Ginger was hiding small, but
I'm back.
yeah, she's back. Today we are taking a look at one of the biggest conversations in Ghana. Yeah, a lot of people say, I want to leave the country, nothing is working. But the bigger question is,
Passport
are we
impeached.
really working as a people? Are we really diligent at our work as Christians and also as Ghanaians on a larger scale? Do we really take our work serious? If you take a look at all the sectors that we have in the country, can we proudly say we are productive? And the regular Ghanaian, what is the usual outlook, posture, approach towards work in whatever they do? I know a lot of people will come on this table, the masons, the plumbers, the planners, the events, the officers, the service providers, are we really diligent? So when a regular Ghanaian says, I want the country to be better, are they hypocritically taking themselves out of the equation? All this and more on To Be Frank this afternoon. I'll start with KB because we here. I'll start with KB. KB, the general outlook of the regular Ghanaian when it comes to work, would you say we have a very good work ethic?
Well, it's kind of a chicken and egg because I'm sure this is not the first time our listeners are hearing some conversation about these kind of things, productivity, and then former President Kufuor was like, they pretend to
Ghanaians pretend to work and we pretend to pay them.
So it looks like everybody on both sides of the coin understand what the challenge is and the solution. I think it's the doing that is the problem.
The doing of the work.
Yes, making doing the solutions. Like anything in Ghana, we just happen to know what the challenges are, advantages, disadvantages. If you go to the
senior high school,
we know, enumerate, list,
state and explain,
elaborate, throw more light.
So you get it, but I don't know if it's like culturally, we have not built a problem solving citizenry. What I have observed is there's a very wishful thinking culture. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's like, oh, when we wish it away, it will go away. And it's something. Ghana is 67.
Yeah.
Nkrumah wished for a good way, but it's like the wishes alone are not riding the horses. So in this case, we know what to do. If we do what we have to do, we'll get it right. But the culture of getting it done is where we don't have.
My issue is, this morning I was watching TV. Let me be frank, where I actually heard it from. I heard from TV3's New Day, the morning show. And I think Bella was interviewing one of the advocates of the people who was saying that there are medicines at the port that have been given to us for free that are gathering dust. Okay,
25 containers.
Yes, the demurrage, right?
25.
Now, this is the part where I think that this conversation matters, because we are taking a look at the Christian himself, herself, and their work ethic. When the gentleman said, we hope the situation will be resolved, Bella, the journalist, said, we are praying. So, like you're saying,
exactly,
we have all identified what the problem is.
Yes.
So, in certain jurisdictions or certain countries, you don't usually find people say, we pray it will work.
Exactly.
Because they, outside of preferring solutions, they actually do the work.
Yeah.
But here, it seems in Africa, God works extra time to keep us in shape than in the European, the Europes and the Americas, and you wonder where that attitude is coming from. Would you say it is cultural?
Yes. This might sound controversial, but I also believe formalized work. It's been in Africa for quite a while, but I feel structurally the reward and punishment haven't been fine-tuned well. For example, hourly payments, results before
payment.
It's I don't know how to explain it, but human beings, Homo sapiens, they react to systems. So as soon as the person knows that if he gets this done, it will be paid, he or she will get it done. I've seen you mentioned masons and the artisans. I've seen a lot of where, like, I'm being on family and friends construction sites, and some of the big men, they'll be like, oh, maybe they agree that the order should weld this for maybe 3,000. The order does, it comes, director, chairman, I know Ghana, and then somebody says chairman is actually a financial status. It's not a title.
No, it's a financial status.
In Nigeria. Okay, so you'll be like, a couple usually is usually the OS who are the master craftsmen. The ones I know. Maybe you know Fantis who are good. Maybe there was an F1. Then you pretend like they are friends. 3,000. Then F4 came with the 110% European American standard. I've done it. I'm going to get this money. It's going to transact to this, and we are. As soon as the big man he respects, the big man who has done his masters from Gimpo or whatever, the big man who came from Germany, whatever, whether he was a cleaner or whatever, he has come with his Dutch passport. He's coming to build. The person expects a professional. Whatever.
No, I mean what you're saying. I don't want you to say like in passing because it is part of the conversation.
Yeah.
The whole argument about the PhD and the cleaner, it will come in because we are matching the work ethic vis-a-vis the productivity.
Yes,
because if somebody would be proud to show off what they do in other jurisdictions and be getting what they are worth and liken it to someone who in terms of academia is the topmost level anyone can get to and say that he in that area is better off than the person here, I'm sure the person was looking at impact. That even me here, this is what I get and the benefits thereof.
Reward for
but you, even with this degree of knowledge and what have you done for the nation, what is the output, what is the productivity? Can we match your performance based on all the degrees you have accrued for yourself?
So what where I see is stemming from is the people we respect or look up to, like Akakpo that I'm talking about. He's probably a 25-year-old carpenter. He doesn't, the only time he's interacting with the PhD holder is maybe his work. So if he believes, let me do extra, doctor, everybody respects him, he has put extra, he has done it well. As soon as he's supposed to be paid, this is the story he's getting, because he's probably some low-level person, quote unquote. Come tomorrow. Then any work ethic that he has, I don't know how to put it. You've demoralized them. So what is going to happen is that
the next time
he's going to tell his other, doctor, we there say you on our big men they are like this. Then the same big men also tell you that we too, like the ones who work for them, they will not come on time. Maybe Akakpo took 13 days instead of 10 days. That's why he's delaying the money. Or he was also he was believing God for some funds. The funds delayed. That's why he had to postpone it. But if he tells Akakpo the truth, Akakpo will also not come and do it. So it's like a funny chess game that everybody is just checkmating each other, but the thing is, it's not working.
So if I get you right, before I move on, you are saying that you would rather prefer a working system of reward, punishment, system of how many hours you do and how much you deserve.
So that if the doctor knows that he is on pain, and maybe there's an artisanal app where you can downgrade it like we do with the hailing. It's like probably we can start with institution. Individuals might be too.
So broad. The ratings will show.
Yes, that maybe when we do X amount of work for maybe this event house, this whatever, these are their
remuneration.
Whatever is yawa or it's not a good thing. So it can also affect even when they are going for bank loans or like the interest and stuff like. So I'm saying that like the convo should not just be let's make sure our Christians have morals and things. It goes beyond just giving them good, because Akakpo had good morals.
But for me, it matters. So, Lucy, this is where I think it matters, because the regular Christian should know the fruits of the Spirit. Okay. Aside that, no, I'm bringing the conversation for a reason. Okay.
No problem.
For a nation that prides itself with a lot of religiosity, in my mind, I'm thinking that when you hear scriptures like, whatever your hands find to do, do it diligently. Then you find someone coming to work at 9 a.m. but still taking a pen to write 7:23.
Okay.
In the attendance book. Okay. So then, where is the honesty? Where is the regular? If you are a regular Christian or a staunch Christian, and you're supposed to be working diligently, someone says yesterday was a funeral, that's why I'm coming late today. And in this nation, when a holiday falls on Saturday, we have to move it all the way to Monday.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that for the Ghanaian system, you see unproductivity everywhere because of our posture and our approach. So Lucy, the regular Ghanaian and being Christian at workplaces.
I think I don't even want to go to the tangent of being Christian at our workplaces, because we all believe that we have certain values. I mean, growing up, everybody, even from your home, there are certain basic values that are nurtured into a person depending on your environment and where you were brought up from. There are certain values that we get to be nurtured with as we are growing up, and we get into the working space. We learn and unlearn certain things because certain things that our environment teaches us happen to be not good, but life as an adult will make you unlearn certain things so that you can learn certain things in order to survive and also thrive, to be your best in a situation. Now, when you made mention of time book, I smiled.
It works.
I'm telling you, it was one of my greatest challenges in my former work area, because I am somebody who is not afraid of the time that I come to school. I'm one person that's in every work direction. People are afraid of queries. You do things and then you get queried at the workplace. And I keep on telling them that query is question and answer. Okay, why didn't you do that? Explain why certain actions shouldn't be taken against you because you didn't do that. So when you have reason, just put it down. And when you have reason, you don't have to cook up things. My former workplace, which was such an environment that was so much discipline and diligence, like it was such a tough working area. When I come to work, when I get to work at 8, you are supposed to get to work at 7. And let's say I get to work at 8:05. Okay. I will write 8:05. Somebody who will come after me, and Lucy, you are always writing the time that you come. Why? The person who come after me.
So it means anyone that comes after you cannot even write 7.
Yes, the first generation.
The person that I came right after had probably written like 6:50 something. I don't care like that. Yeah. And it was so sometimes I had one colleague who goes like, Lucy, when you come and I haven't come, leave a space for me so that I'll come, because they know that I will enter the time. And I have my reasons. It may not be tangible, but it may be something that might have kept me away. And that was okay for me. Now, when I left there and I went to my other job, I loved the environment because you are paid according to what you have worked. You right in Ghana, and I was telling a friend, and the friend was telling me, "Hey, then Lucy, you can work in the US." So and this is such that even the work output that you are supposed to produce within the hours have been calculated. Yeah. So let's say if you are supposed to make maybe pinafore dress for school children, maybe every 2 hours you are supposed to sew 4 and you're working for 8 hours, or every 2 hours you are supposed to sew 1 and 8 hours. They know what you are, and you are paid by what you produce. And it was such that if you come to work late, look, I was the HR there, and our finance person will go like, as for Lucy, even with Lucy would deduct even herself if her hours doesn't matter, because we calculate the hours, and I can deduct you by the second. Like, I will calculate your salary and deduct a second less that you didn't make up to work, because I realize that people feel peeved when they are deducted that second, but they are okay when they are paid and they haven't worked for. So it make them so diligent that because they didn't want to put in extra time. Some people will work by the hour a week, 40 on no extra.
King.
Yeah. And it made the employees calculate the hours. They calculate the time they go for.
Ghanaian
the question on my mind.
Yeah, I was about
same question every day.
Is it a Ghanaian owned company?
No,
it's okay.
An American, and it's an NGO, and people were getting paid. But it made them so diligent that when they go for break, though they have been given 1 hour break, they will calculate the hours, and it has its flexibilities. On Fridays you can close early, not necessarily. Even if you come to work on Friday and you close like 10, it's okay, you can go home, provided you have worked your hours, provided you have done the product you are supposed to do, you are good to go. So they gave them that flexibility, and it made them diligent that if they decide that Friday I would leave early, it means that the hours that I spend on break, I have to reduce it so that it can make up for the time of production, and I loved it because it was so apt. When it rains, people are coming to work because if you don't make it to work, you don't make your hours, you don't get paid. And I before I left for that work, even at my former area where it was also delayed, I realized that sometimes it rains, I will leave my home to the workplace, which is a distance, and then those within the enclave will not come because it has
everywhere.
rained.
Those who live within, they don't come in.
Then I go like, we complain that we are not being paid enough. So it brings my mind to when Kofor said we are pretending to work and we are pretending to get paid. And in these two scenarios, you realize that when the employees wanted more work out of their efforts, even if salaries are going to be increased, it is so fair. Honestly, it was an environment that I loved to work in because salary increments were done inflationary, and then it got to a time inflation wasn't going up again, so the team members said they don't want inflationary, they want the yearly like the government does it. And then the employer said, okay, we'll do it like that. And then it got to a time they realized that the yearly one was terrible because remember it was 3% at a time, and inflation was over the roof.
Now it's 23.
Those times it was 33 or something. Okay. So even within a year, there was like a 45% increment for them, and they were happy. So it is because they diligently give of their best. It is because when they don't make the hours, they don't get paid. So you see that kind of integrity, that kind of responsibility, sense of urgency. We are not wasting time. I have to produce so that I make up what I am here to do. And then when the time comes, we are made to get exactly what we get out of ourselves. But when it comes to us Christians, I believe sometimes we use Christianity more often than not as an excuse not to give our best. And then also sometimes too, I wish our systems honestly, are like the ones I met in. When I came to my current job, I was trying to implement those things because I realized it was beautiful. You work, you earn your keep. If there is anything, there are no excuses. And in our lives, there are always 1,001 excuses why we won't come to work early or we can't make it to work. But once we realize it affects our earnings, we put ourselves in check. Because when we realize, even if I come late, I'll still get what I need to get. Even if I don't make up the hours, I'll still get. Even if I don't make the production I'm supposed to produce, I'll still get what I'm supposed to get. And that is what we use. And then we don't become productive. These same people move out of the country to other jurisdictions.
And they are doing,
believe me, they love it.
They are doing more than,
and they love it. They don't complain. They seriously love it, and they flaunt it for us to see.
I think that vis-a-vis that, next to what KB said, is a matter of worry, because you see, in those jurisdictions, when you do the said hours, no one cheats you.
No.
If it's 12, 13, 15, $18 an hour, you are going to get that.
Exactly.
But here, I have worked somewhere, I have worked somewhere where they said that if you are able to do this extra thing, you get this at the end of the month. Okay? I brought every needed skill in my fiber and bone to that company because I had a plethora of skills in that particular area. I would write, I would record, I would interview, I would edit. I'm talking about the media space. I was doing about 4 different things. I was just, hard to present. But I found myself editing, proofreading, doing all manner of stuff. When the month ends, you don't see anything, not a CD.
Wow.
In addition to what you have
done.
But
meanwhile, it was stated.
Precisely. It was stated in your appointment letter. The contract is there. So then you go ahead. I mean, as a reasonable person, you don't just have to assume. You just go ahead and you ask, I thought you said if I'm able to do X, Y, Z, I'm going to get, this month the company didn't make anything.
Something.
Yes, we cannot, and that makes it also very difficult for the other person at the receiving end to come in with enough honesty, to come in with diligence, because the first one that did it was not rewarded handsomely. So if I'm coming in, I'm also careful. So you find people at work today who are not giving off their maximum, primarily because somebody has tipped them off.
They are also being
I had
rewarded.
Aha.
You know,
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
start
yeah.
on the
On that.
Yeah.
It's like over top pressure, man. Here, there. We know what ethics means, but please.
Let's go to Ginger. Ginger, your area of work. I think that you face, for you, your area. Sometimes I ask myself, how do you people survive? Because I have friends who, when they are building, they buy cement, they buy pipes. Before they come back the next day, the thing is not there.
Yeah.
You ask, no answer.
Yeah.
And it's like we are all in on the line.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah.
wants to.
Yes.
No
because
snitching.
Yes,
everybody-
no
yes,
snitching.
Yes.
Ginger, how have you been surviving?
What a question.
I'm going to be a Christian and say grace. Yeah, because for me, as a Christian, that is all there is to it, because the industry is so interesting. That's the word I'll use. 2 days are never the same. Today is different from yesterday, and a bulk of the work is more mental and psychological than anything else, so you can imagine. So you are actually never off the clock. Now the question then arises, are you paid for what it is that you are worth? Because if you are never off the clock,
Before you go on, let's
Yeah.
state the industry you work in so that we don't leave those listening.
this
Give a
matter.
very Blair.
This
A very
matter.
Blair. It's a
I'm in the building and
That's
construction
all.
industry.
Yeah.
No long.
And so you are, because you are really never off the clock, because a bunch of it is strategy, strategy, and strategy is layered. So you're looking at layered strategy, you're looking at the personal strategy, you're looking at the work strategy, and you're looking at the look. It's so layered that at times you lose yourself in there somewhere. But what I've come to experience and what I've heard is that the average employer doesn't know worth, doesn't
The
appreciate
average
worth,
employer,
doesn't appreciate
In
worth.
Africa, Ghana, Accra,
Ghana,
where?
Accra, they don't appreciate
In
worth.
they don't appreciate work.
No,
It's true.
they don't appreciate worth. They don't even see it. And it's disheartening because, so me, I feel like, when it comes to work, right, there are gray areas. It is not necessarily black or white. Do you understand? Because Lucy made mention of issues. Yes, there is that. But then what some employers refuse to look at is the fact that maybe I may suck in this this particular area, but I excel in this area. So then what I try to do is, at every point in time, I want to excel somewhere. I can't be all round. Rarely will you find an all round
Precisely.
person. But some of the employers are so myopic, right, that when they set the target that, okay, here's what, this is a bottle of water, sell it for maybe say 5 cedis, right, and you are gifted maybe salesperson, and you're able to sell for 10 cedis on one final, the other 5 cedis is considered his profit. But he has forgotten that it took a certain intervention on your part to add that 5 cedis to it. So what do you do then? Appreciate me for the extra that I brought in.
Either you split or
Bonus.
They don't do it. So here's what it's fixed. When you walk in, right? When you walk in, it's not a commission based car. When you
bonus
walk
is-
in, and like what you said, for instance, I came in as I've been in your space before. In fact, I worked in your space for close to 7-8 years.
Oh, me, I resigned. I left.
Well,
couldn't.
I also left.
It was bad on my mental health. I think unemployment is better than bad employment. I'm telling you. At a point
Yeah.
in the year 2016, I woke up one morning and I told my mentor that, you know what?
I'm done.
Unemployment is better
bad
than
employment.
bad employment, because I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
See, I was driven in an F-150. I rode in Ford Explorers. And I lived in somewhere around La Paz. I'm not saying La Paz is bad.
That your
but
car couldn't even
bro,
your car isn't
I'm
fit
telling you,
for that.
see, and at a point, when you have a projection of a character or personality in the neighborhood, a certain car is dropping you off. You're waking up at early hours, like
4 a.m., yeah.
Yes, I'm up by
Morning,
4 a.m.
because it's a morning.
because I have
Yeah.
to do my morning
No,
show.
4 a.m.
I did a morning
And
show.
you leave at
I
10.
did the afternoon political talk show, and I also edited the news. So my day was packed. I always get home after 10.
Yeah.
All right, because the last car that is supposed to drop everyone off,
10.
it moves out at 10.
Yeah.
PM.
And based on
Yes.
and
Yes.
what you
For
are
emphasis.
getting-
No, yes, 10
yeah,
p.m.
10 p.m.
Yes, for
So what
emphasis.
you are getting monthly, if you rely on spending more of that on transportation, you will be in red. Okay, so one of the things you do to augment the situation is to wait to ride in the company car.
So you
So
have
at
to
a point, I'm like, see, I'm getting this amount of money for all this work.
Yeah.
I did radio and TV combined, one person. So like I was saying, I brought every needed skill in me to the table, but the worth was not recognized. So Charlie, continue.
Yeah, so mine is what I've come to. For me, the underlying factor is the average Ghanaian employer doesn't reward worth. They don't even see it. Not talk of rewarding it.
Yeah.
So the what I worked for before my current employment, me, I'm all about the work, by the way, because I like to work because I love the. If I don't love the work, I'll struggle. So. And God has been faithful to me, so he puts me where he knows that I'll be happy. I was very happy actually, delivering and everything. And if I tell them, let me tell my salary today, they'll hit by me. I'll say it. So from the year 2015 to the year 2017, I was earning 800 Ghana cedis.
I was earning 350.
Okay, I was
So
earning.
you see,
No, calm down. No,
the reason why.
No.
The reason they use
I was.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
something,
get it. But I was
like,
earning.
was that terrible?
I was
It
earning
was terrible.
800 Ghana cedis, right?
Wow.
And I'm telling you, what even broke my back. So my immediate manager was promoted. So the slot was open, right? I don't know why they asked me to step in. So I stepped in. I was attending board meetings. I was collecting blastings and all of that. I was reporting I was doing the work because I know the work, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and then they go and bring a known face. Say, oh, this guy is popular. So
you don't have the people.
bless you. He's popular. So I should train him. Guy, I
Imagine.
trained my replacement. I trained him.
Training the popular.
Can you imagine?
And this guy knew nothing.
And that is what the media space is doing.
No,
No, they bring people that are popular
Hey.
to come into the space.
So-
That's what they do.
Numbers.
Yeah.
they
It's a numbers
they
game.
brought the
Yes.
gentleman who was greener than green.
Mango bunu.
Guy, forget. I don't cry. I'm just an immature crying.
They had
So-
to keep him in water.
Only
Just a
from when you next see me, so-
Botany.
Guy, I trained this gentleman. The next thing I'll hear is he becomes a substantive manager. I'm like, what is this? Okay, me, I still have the work, so me, I'm working, right? At that time, my needs were not, I felt like my needs were not, at least in my head, I thought I didn't need anything.
Yeah.
Then I got my current offer. Then I told human resources that here's what, I've accumulated, I never went on leave. That's me, I never go on leave.
No.
Not because I feel like, guy, I don't need it.
I think you
So-
and I have the same
so-
blueprint.
I went and I told her that, madam, here's what, I am leaving. Do you know that in my 3 years there, I never met the chief HR? The day I said I am quitting, he called me himself.
They offered me a laptop.
He took
a
me.
phone.
Oh, they'll say laptop in Pune.
They offered me a laptop, a phone, and the next incremental,
Hey.
of my
Media, my CEO
So
drove
that
it.
they have to wait till you want
that
to go.
month. And you know what? I went into the meeting with all guns blazing.
Hey.
You took the words out of my
Obieja.
mouth. So I am sitting in my office because I had written. I told her, look, I won't take. You're supposed to give like 3 months. I'm like, you know what? I didn't take leave, so all my accumulated leave.
Yeah.
But the chairman, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I just want to go.
Yeah.
Right. The man calls me to his office. He mentioned, why are you leaving? I'm like, said, do you really want me to? Now open my mouth, madam. Everybody chop fire, from the owner to the security man, because this is not me. I wasn't lying. These are things that time and time again
Yeah.
I have been speaking to. Nobody minded me. I'm like, say, you know what? I'm done. I'm going. It's okay. When I finally finished releasing, just packed my bag. Me, I just left home. So that experience told me one thing, that
They didn't call you.
they did. Oh, guy, who has no? So when I'm done, I'm like that. I'll give you a long group, but when I'm done with you, I am done. Even if you offer me the word, I'm not coming back, because what am I coming back to?
Yeah.
The agreement was we'll start you on that 1 year down the line. Because I didn't want it, but somebody inside told me that, here's what you, because instead of, because I didn't want to, I had worked, I wanted to take care of rest. I wanted to rest. I'm like, you can't. My car was like, you know what? Don't stay in the house. You have what it takes. Come in. So I take the thing 1 year down the line, no action, and I'm sitting there, and this was a fresh station, new kid on the block. We literally
you had to build.
guy, we were the building blocks when they started.
Are we talking about the same media house?
I don't think-
no.
I don't think
I
so.
don't-
When we started, we were two. Guy, I started work on Monday. By Friday, I I had executed my first event. Ask me how it happened. I used all my relationship,
your friends,
all my data, all my
You
clients.
depleted your social capital.
Brother. and we did it, and it was a success. Still did. If I tell you the gentleman who came out of that thing and where the guy is going to, I'm trying to call. We even discovered him, guy. But oh God, it was so you do all of this, and I'm sitting there, and they are poaching. Those who know me, they know the word poaching.
Oh my word!
And they are poaching.
They are poaching.
And they are poaching.
And you are sitting there.
My very first day at work, I was a producer. me not carried myself there because
you were picking guests from the parking lot
like
to the studio.
No, I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm like, this
word.
my presenter is struggling. Let me go and help. I entered the production booth. Oh, I'm answering phone calls. I am looking for it. It even became my job at some point. I even left. So you see, it's so unfortunate that the average Ghanaian employer wants you to do 2 or 3 more
But
things.
what was
at a
your
go.
official contracted
Guy,
portfolio?
I was a marketing executive now.
Oh, so marketing production. That's impressive.
Guy, this is my very first day at work. Very first day. I report to work Monday morning. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm like, okay, let me just enter. And I just entered the production booth, started answering phone calls, started doing this queuing and all that. Last, and I'm like, I don't understand why the average Ghanaian employer never wants you to do one thing. And they sell you this thing about how
to make you versatile.
Better.
You
And
know
no
what I'm saying?
in this place, nobody does one thing.
Yeah.
And you see, for me, I am very versatile. If you put me anywhere, I'll flourish. Those who know me know me.
Yeah.
My very first job, my nickname was Bankuda Day. They say I work too hard. My HR manager today, she will tell me my very first job, because I left uni and I went straight service school, and they kept me. So I work hard. So, but I don't know why till date the average Ghanaian employer will never allow you to do one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's so much. No,
I think that when you take a look at the scope, I've worked in a few industries. What I've realized is, though your letter comes with a certain job description,
there's a caveat that you can be called upon.
Yes.
I know that caveat.
This is it.
I know that caveat
so
is there.
sometimes I'm like, okay, so I'm working in a company and I'm supposed to report from Monday to Friday.
Yes.
Then the CEO goes like, but sometimes on Saturday we can call you.
Yeah.
Then
Or
I'm
holiday,
like,
there's some.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
I don't have a problem
and sometimes
with that.
I can call you. Fine. If
Call
you
me,
call
but
me
pay
and I
me.
come in.
It's
What
an
am I
extra-
getting
it's
if
an
I
extra
come
week,
in?
yeah.
Because I'm putting off something to attend to this. Okay? Yes, of course. If I'm putting
I
off
have a
something
test
to
one when you
attend to
finish. I'll
this,
say.
it matters
Hey.
the more, because one of the things that we don't understand is that, like Ginger is saying, is the word. If I come in, I'm coming in for a reason. You cannot find somebody else to do exactly what I do. So if I'm coming to do X, Y, Z, what is there? Even if I finish and you say, Smart, this is 100 CDs for your transport, I would appreciate it, because it goes to say that you've thought about me.
Yeah.
But the next thing is
Part of the salary.
it's part of it. It's part of it. See, Ginger, no monsieur. Pastor Newton. Some people say that in Africa we have not explored the working environment very well, to the point where I've made this point here before. I don't know if it was KB or Lucy that was on the show that day. I was saying that when you take a look at the single spine pay policy structure, and I shared that it had a 3-phase that was supposed to be implemented. I'm saying this to a particular effect. The first one was salary increment, which was received by all. The second one was performance contract. How you do on the job to match it with how much we are paying you. Then the last bit, which is the biometric system, which was to check the times that people were coming in order to ascertain whether you are what you say you are. Because you hear a lot of times in the Ghanaian conversations that, media me pa banjuma, to wait. Me, I want a government job. That place, they
It's
don't sack
perpetual,
anyone.
yes, you can do
and
anything and you're there.
someone can just call and say, Chale, are you going to work? I will be there around 12. So you
Yeah.
say something to cover up for me. And there is no accountability. I'm saying this because of what KB said. Do you think if we had a system that recognizes people being paid by the hour,
We should.
the regular Ghanaian would do as good as their brethren and their sisters
They
in
would.
the
Public,
Americas are
private
doing.
sector.
Yes.
They would.
Do you
Even
think that it
private
will?
sector.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's very
Oh,
very.
some private sectors are worse. That's why I didn't add them.
Yes.
Unless you're talking about multinationals.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who, I had a lady friend from senior high school who went to one of these United Arab, this Middle East country,
Doha, Qatar.
Qatar. Then she was maltreated, so she came back.
Oh.
When she came back, she worked as a pharmacy attendant or assistant. And her working hours were crazy. She would report at 7 and close at 10
Yeah.
p.m.
It's like Monday to Monday.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? And if you should hear her salary, 700, 750.
Recently,
800.
You know.
I met one guy. Oh, I wish I could mention the company.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked him, so
Mm.
he's schooling and trying to work. So I asked, so how much is your salary? He said 500 cedis. What time do you work? Monday to Sunday. What time? 7 to 7. I was like, what? 500. And this is very, very. I was
Big.
Give us an industry. You don't have to mention the company.
Beverage.
Give us
Is it in the
Beverage.
retail space?
Beverage.
Retail.
Oh, I was going to say.
I knew it.
Oh, I was going to say.
I
oh,
knew it.
that was my next
I knew
point.
it.
everywhere. In
It's
every
every-
town in Ghana.
Missy, I was
The
going to.
retail
When you said
space.
it popped. I have it here. The
Some
company
people
is here.
only
No, the company is
multinationals
here.
are
Yeah.
good,
LED
but
on
some
your-
Yeah, I knew
some of
it.
the foreign companies
How?
who are west working there
How
because they.
our labor law clearly stipulates.
Which labor law?
Which
No,
labor law?
in
Your
fact,
government-
in
your
fact,
labor law?
in
government
fact,
is not
Lucy,
fighting for
it
you.
is legal.
Yeah.
In fact, it is because the minimum wage is around 13 or 14.50.
Yeah.
So if you multiply that by 27 days,
Well,
you
yeah,
will get
more
less
than-
than 500.
Yeah. So it's
And
doing
so
more than
the
that.
problem is not the employer.
It's the law.
It's the
The
law.
problem is the system.
Yeah.
That is why I always
No,
complain
the
about
system
Ghana's
also
system.
states how many hours an employee is supposed to
They
work.
escape.
Really?
oh.
It is stated in there.
In the
And
government or in the private sector.
In-
it
It's
is
to
it
force.
is there.
Because
No,
for the
let's
fair,
all speak facts.
No.
Which
For the
one
fair
do you
wages,
think is the case, and which one is the case?
Because the case is that
Uh-huh.
the number of hours. This thing we have actually had workshop with it with GIZ.
Okay,
And the number of hours.
That's an
number
international
of,
partner.
No, but
No,
they
like
use
they were
they
the-
use it is
Yeah, the
in
local laws.
Ghana.
Okay.
So they are helping the local
The labor-
We're the
Alright.
facilitating
Yes, they are
institution.
facilitated to help the local companies that want to go international come up to par and to standard.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is that if you check out, most of the labor law things in Ghana are coined from the International Labor Organization, ILO.
Yeah.
So it goes hand in hand. We have stipulated number of hours that
One
a
must
person
Madam.
is supposed to work. It is
Auntie.
in our labor law. That is
Auntie.
one.
Now, grandma,
And
you dey
two,
speak, oh.
it
Mm.
gives an extra. If you want to do overtime, it has a maximum number of hours.
Overtime is non-existent today. Oh.
Oh dear. You see, so
Hey,
when,
hey,
when people go like, is it there?
It is not there.
And it is there.
So
It is stated.
so I think that it
It's
is
like
there.
it's
It
obsolete.
is-
The employers they know.
okay. So I think that it's a two-phase argument. All right, there is the law bit and there is the implementation
Yes.
bit, where KB always talks about. We know what the issues are.
Yeah.
We are very familiar with what the issues are.
Yeah.
But do we know what we are supposed to do? I'll give you an example. Let's move away from work ethics. Let's move away from the business environment and go into the rental space. So there was a law that, we
Don't
should
charge
stop the
more.
dollarization.
Yeah.
All
Or if
right.
they don't charge more than is it 6
Or
months or
don't
3
charge
months
more
or
than 6
so.
months and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And is that the
Reality
actual
on the
state?
ground. It will never be.
Good.
No,
so
it won't be.
that is what KB is trying to find out. What
Yeah.
what
What is
there?
it in our DNA
What
that
is it that is there? But then at the end of the day, so Lucy, you won't do the work. Go and sit down.
Aha.
That is the point I'm driving at.
Especially when
Obi mpo, obi
Ginger
pe.
Yes.
said his was 800 and you said you were taking 350.
350.
So that is what
They
the
will use that
employer
as an argument.
use against employees because they know that the labor market is huge.
Yeah.
Actually, it is not.
And people are struggling.
Ah.
Listen, so you see, this one, let me catch you. This one, see, so it's a psychological thing that they are doing. They know. They know. I am telling you that this is me bragging. I'll brag because I've earned it. When you go to my 2 places of employment and you mention my name, I heard the last time we having a bit like, hey, if Ginger was younger, 3 years after I've left, we are still mentioning my name, and they mention my name till date, so they know.
Oh, I understand. I know what you are talking about.
They
because
know.
at my former work, when I left, it took over a year before they got a replacement for me.
With mine, they had to take
It
3
was-
people to do my work,
No.
and it still didn't work.
So I get your point. But that
Hey,
is what
Joe.
they use against it.
Yes.
So it's a perception.
Yes.
Wow.
And the thing is that I think we can now use, because I realize that most companies want to go international, okay, like be able to operate in other jurisdictions. There are certain standards they are supposed to meet, which pushes them. Even that, we get some Ghanaian employers that try to outwit its team.
That's the HR problem. It's a big HR
Yeah, it's
problem.
a
And
corner.
I read about that all the time. But Lucy, let me come to Pastor Newton. You can send in your comments on 020
Newton, we are sorry.
343
One share experience.
10 020
Some issue so that me company.
020-343-8710. Let me give out the
A
WhatsApp
church is a
number.
company. If you want to go there, we'll go there. I'm a farm home, but it is a company and revenue.
KB,
It has expenditure.
let me
It has
just
employees.
let me just give out the WhatsApp number. You can send in your comments on the working environment in Ghana. Are we really working? Are we as productive as we say we are? Do we do what we say we will do? Do we go to the workplace to execute our roles? And do the employers find us worthy of the things we do?
No.
Why do you find a regular Ghanaian very lackadaisical around their jobs? Why don't people put in 100% of their efforts at the workplaces? Send in your comments. Let's hear from you. 020-343-8710. Send your comments on WhatsApp now. You can jump onto our Facebook, the live stream, and send your comments on there, as well as YouTube. So let us hear from you. What do you think of Ghana? Why is it that the regular Ghanaian will not do their best in Ghana, but when they travel, they do everything and anything possible to make the money that they are supposed to make? Pastor Newton.
Yeah, so I will stand with what Ginger said, that employers or Ghanaian employers don't reward worth. And even some of them, you even see the problem, the companies going through some challenge, and you are proactive. You even go and see your manager that
Now
we
you
can
sabi
go,
high.
we can diversify all this.
Aprega.
It's just like a company I know where
The number of times you call that name.
No, but this is legit.
I mean,
You are shamed. You are shamed for being proactive.
initially, when I picked up today's topic, I was discussing with the producer. He was saying that, which angle will you take it?
We never finish your
And you know,
Obtuse angle.
Yes,
Angle.
and in fact, from what the preliminary stages,
Charlie.
I'm hearing things that is beginning to affirm the reason why. At first, I thought the employees were the problem.
We are the problem.
Yes, we are just the employees, but
are the
then
problem.
we have realized that it is not also
is
just
bigger.
yes,
Yeah.
bigger than what we
Yes.
anticipated it to be. So
it's the system, employers and employees too. Because if the system is working,
yeah,
an employer can't cheat an employee,
Yeah.
and an employee too cannot outsmart the employer. Because like KB said, if there's a system where you know when I work 1 hour, it's 100 cedis.
Yeah.
The person, even if you say they should work 8 hours, he will tell he wants to do 10 hours because we're calculating 100 times 10.
Yeah.
But the dishonesty in the system, people are not honest. It's shocking where when people are not employed, the kind of morale they put to pressure an employer to get a job, and now when they also get a job, they now move from the salary cry it's not anything, so I can't kill myself, all those things. But
I can't
just
kill
like AB
myself.
said, because the outside world, the system is working, and you could even live with just 5 hours salary there. They are giving all their best. And in Ghana, for instance, like we were talking about the government institutions or government the government works, there is, I don't know if they give KPIs and who checks those things.
These are KPIs.
There are KPIs.
But
So,
are
like I
there-
said, at the end of the day, is the implementation is actually
Yeah.
doing the
because
review.
ideally, I believe Ghana has all the laws. That is the implementation.
Precisely what I was about to
And
say.
you see, talking about the implementation, we don't also have the checkers. And usually, when the checkers come, we bribe our way into it. Because that is why I would always go back to where I used to work, where the system was apt. Because it was such that if you don't take leave, we'll come and tell you to go and take leave because it is not right.
The
Because-
place where the system is working.
because they come to check.
Yeah.
When we realize that your hours are too much, it is unheard of. So we will sit you down and educate you and make you understand that you are putting the company in a situation that is not right. And we were doing that.
Next
there was
time,
security,
and next
right?
time, run a drug test.
No, no.
I mean, for women, no man, no man,
No,
Okay,
it's a
okay.
women place. So
all
no.
the all
Is
the
that what-
Not
things-
that women don't do drugs.
Aha.
But
All
no,
the
it
things-
wasn't something like
See,
that.
all the things
No,
that you
in
are
your
saying-
case,
Yes,
fine.
it
but-
wasn't
all
like
the
that.
things that you are saying, one thing that comes to me that keeps coming is there was job security on all
Oh
fronts.
yeah.
Now I have bashed my people, but one thing that it made easy for me was the security was there. I had health insurance, which for me was a big deal
Yeah.
because the worst thing that can happen to you is yare.
Yeah.
Now we need card back
And
hospital.
you need to use your meager salary to take care
And
of
this
it.
health insurance was so comprehensive that it didn't just cover hospitals; it covered pharmacies and drugs.
Oh, I
There was
even had
dental.
dental. Oh.
There was dental.
We went
It's
in
not
the
the same.
there's the same media house.
It's not the
I'm
same.
saying
the same media
It's not
house.
the same. It's not the
It's not
same.
the same.
There was dental. There was eye.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was comprehensive.
After the show, we'll talk about
We have
the
to
media
talk.
house,
It was-
because I think that we worked in the
It was
same
it was
company.
comprehensive. So maybe that is why that coupled with my passion, because look, I don't want to wake up in the morning. Anything can happen. Maybe
Yeah.
I go for trotro.
Yeah.
Then
Okay, but
Because I alone know your parking
our
do a
case,
dental,
we
yeah,
didn't
man,
even
for-
have
And I
that.
actually want that.
What they would do from the onset is help you register for our local NHIS,
Yeah.
and that's I know. But you see, the job security was such that they make room for even when you go and you still want to wish to come back. They don't close doors.
Yeah.
Wow, look.
But maybe it will depend on how
Me
you
have
left.
cemented the door shut. I'm
Or
not going
if
how
they
you left,
ask you to go, the door is closed.
Or you got angry and just left too. Maybe coming
But
back may
even
be
that,
difficult.
even that,
Unless
when you want to come
you
back,
are a
Pastor
star
Newton,
player.
the truth of the matter.
Me, I don't do
that.
sankofa.
But
there's
I
a
love
point
me, I
in
love the
time
system.
of a person who is in their working life. If they have enough of something, there is no coming back.
Yeah.
Because you see, when I was leaving, the month the month in which I presented my
But
resignation
at least
letter
350 no time now is catching.
Also
in 2016,
But
Mine is 2017.
in 2016,
2016 for the work. See, I worked in the
Let me
media
blow
house.
your
I
mind.
understand him.
I walked from Fish Pond to my mom's place at Akwetema to eat every
Yeah, you
evening.
mentioned it the last time on the show.
Nah, Jai.
And you know
It
the
couldn't
worst.
do
And you know the
anything.
worst part. The worst part is you're on TV.
And the next
So
morning,
you are supposed to appear
Ah,
a certain way.
what are you talking about? There are a lot of things that people do not consider. There is
Oh, no,
occupational
but-
hazard.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things at
can say
a point you
Couldn't
can't
do.
do.
Yeah.
True.
You can't do anymore.
True.
How do you sit in Trotro as a
Yeah.
host?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or eat go by the roadside.
Charlie,
Yeah.
Nana, enya easy. Enya easy. But you, let's focus on other
Oh,
matters.
yeah.
So when people walk away, when people,
don't do that.
I
But
remember,
the cars, guess what? You don't even own the car.
You
so
don't.
if they even do a fleet of Lexuses and you resign, you
don't-
come back to
you-
sender.
yes.
My guy.
They raise your social
know.
status,
Mete
and
a-
then
it takes a lot of mental fortitude to say that. See,
I'm leaving.
this lifestyle is good, but it's not beneficial to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So let me leave the space.
Yeah.
Let people know that okay, it's
Yeah.
kweku a onishe.
Yeah.
Say ano, I would accept my present state.
It's very
And
difficult.
It's very difficult. So a lot of people stay in the space, no matter the
Appearances.
toxicity of it. They stay,
Keep up appearance.
they stomach it, they tolerate it, and then you now find out 10 years later that this renowned journalist or this revered journalist doesn't have anything.
And I said, okay, that's
Then
the
you
story.
begin to ask yourself, why? What's going on? Is this not the gentleman who was coming to meetings and conferences in this? That is the perception.
But the work isn't it flexible out to me ball gigs?
It's
So
not flexible.
it comes in twofold. Like Ginger mentioned, we have staff-based journalists or media people, and we have contractual based media people.
Yeah.
So the contractual ones are the ones that they were
2
poached.
hours. Yeah.
They were poached to come and just host
For
a
their-
particular show.
For their following.
They have the numbers.
So-called.
So they come.
So-called.
They come, host the show. The moment they are done, they enter their cars.
With the question marks.
And there are ones that
And
are
they are
at
paid
the
better.
studio. They are paid
Yeah,
better.
of course.
Than
That
the
you-
ones that
that
are
go
at
as
the
the
studio.
Crying poaching on one born price.
Yeah.
So you get it. So that's how it works. So for me, when I was leaving, the general manager said, "Hey, you're burning bridge." I said, "I'd rather burn the bridge because I
Sure.
don't see
Oh, no,
myself coming back to
Yeah.
that town."
That
Yeah, I don't see myself coming back.
Castle Bridge.
So it's not like you are scaring me with,
No,
"Oh,
yeah.
there are no jobs.
Yeah.
Be careful who you offend." See,
Yeah.
I'm ready to offend you because you see,
Right.
Nana. Let me read.
Atra.
Let me read a short article by a German who was married a Ghanaian and his experience with the working environment. He says that my frustration comes from workers, employees, or however you will call them, and people who are providing services like mechanics, plumbers, carpenters, masons,
They're on the
and
top
security guards, but also shop attendants, petrol station attendants, and many others. I always hear captains of industry, employers, and owners of companies complaining about the high levels of taxes, lack of electricity, too expensive electricity,
Make operational
bad
costs.
roads to their companies, the bureaucracy, corruption, and everything else. But they are always carefully avoiding one subject: the quality of workforce. The quality of workforce in general, but there are exceptions. The Ghanaian worker doesn't care about the quality of his work and doesn't have any feeling for his profession nor his customer or client. Sometimes they show a total apathy to work and just aim to dragging themselves to the end of the week
Yeah.
simply because they need an income.
Yeah.
In Europe, there is a saying for people with low ambition: he's only planning to go to work and come home tired. But in Ghana, I mostly have the feeling that coming home tired is not part of our workers' plan. It's made it almost impossible to employ an honest, hard-working, motivated person in Ghana. Not only our soft cultural behavior, mostly coming down to not calling a spade, a politeness, strong unions, and high will and participation to strike against almost everything, increasing production, a judicial system that fights tooth and nail for rights of employees, 50 years of almost total neglect of skills-based education, lack respect of a well-trained worker, and low morals in general have created a very low quality workforce in Ghana. KB, direct question: do we have poor and low quality work in Ghana?
Yes.
And it's just because of the type of education that we've managed to
We've
churn out.
saddled ourselves
We've
with.
saddled ourselves. It doesn't
Ruffle
match.
bow.
No, we've saddled ourselves with
and
it.
it's not matching the current productive sectors.
Needs.
For example, I think at the risk of sounding sexist, I think every female with a set of teeth can be a receptionist. Unless we see it.
No, he's,
Like,
I get what he's saying.
Yeah. So
It's as if Pelba onim smile tena. That's all.
That's all.
Ne ho ofe.
And most of the I don't know, but most of our females are trained or they always want to go into the smiling industry. When I say smiling, just come and be nice and you'll be paid. Like some
Be a presenter.
yeah, like
Come and
yeah,
sit on TV and smile.
bread type of.
Aha.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's
no,
almost
it's not
sexist, but forgive me.
intentional. It's not
So,
intentional.
so guess what? Now guess what? Every lady looks pretty because of weave ones and whatever.
Yo.
Every lady can smile.
Yo.
So now,
Yo,
where
yo,
is
yo,
the competitive
yo.
edge?
Hey, have you
Relax,
seen- are you
relax,
looking at me right now?
relax,
Are you
relax.
seeing-
Until you
retract.
enter dryers.
Retract. I
Until you
said
enter
retract.
dryers.
I said
You
retract.
enter dryers.
Do you
So
see- guys,
I'm talking about majority.
I'm
I'm talking about majority.
Yeah.
So now what we have happened to, we have created just the feminine workforce has become just beauty pageants.
So it's the concept of sex cells.
Mm.
It has
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
eaten
It's
into-
at my risk of sounding
No,
sexist.
it's just sex cells. That's all.
Good.
I just said
Even
sex.
those sex cells,
I just said sex.
there are some sex that sells better.
No, there are, it's so okay. So this is the thing.
Okay.
This concept of sex cells thing. Okay, we being the Ghanaians that we are, Shiacha,
Okay.
Ghanaians, temperance. We don't have the spirit of, we don't know temperance, right? We are extremists.
Okay.
So we tend to overdo everything. So, and unfortunately for us, most of us don't seem to have finesse or flair. So we take it in our raw form.
Okay.
Then we create a caricature, an unrecognizable one.
Okay.
And then we package it. And then we put it there. That is where the challenge is coming from.
Yes. So the caricature is now not matching up to the actual
Because it's a
architecture
caricature.
worldwide. So now all we have, I'll come to the males. All we have with our females, someone who is nice and can just smile. Like,
Not just nice, so someone who is well endowed.
that one is if they have to get up.
Oh, but they have to get up. No, they
Let me
have
explain
to.
what I mean. Like,
They have to.
you know, there's some job, whatever. Like, you see,
But
smart,
do you-
because of our work,
I-
as an MC, you are very. Sometimes can't expect, because Charlie, the person who's going to do Cynthia at 40, is the person you are shaming. You are shading on.
So you can talk plenty.
So I'm very careful. But all I'm saying is, now industry is demanding more than a nice smiley face and a weave on.
Is it?
So what is happening now is that we need our ladies to go back to drawing board and know that now having a smiley face alone
I
is not
think
enough.
it should be double edged, not just
No,
our
I shall
females.
come
was
to the
trying to-
males.
no,
yeah.
no,
I shall
even-
come
no,
to the
no,
males.
No, I
With
get
our
your
boss.
point, but I'm just saying that
No, even with our
it should
boss,
be double
so-
edged.
no.
Because I know a lot of guys who their work ethic is zero.
Even no, smart.
I said I'll
Even
come
no,
to- I'm
even
talking
no.
about-
Before,
it's a
no.
two-prong.
Babe, stay with the females, right? I need to come in here. You see, what you are saying is only true to an extent. Our world in which we live has more or less reduced some of us to that thing that you are talking about. Do you understand? So some of us really, we have brains.
I think
I'm
if I
coming.
don't end, I'll
I'm
be
coming. No, I'm coming. No, you don't worry. I'm coming. Still, no. Regardless, let's put it. You see, we are beating both sides here, because in as much as it may be required to just have a big smile and all of that, we have come to understand that it's called an adaptive technique. So we are metamorphosing. Survival of the fittest.
Organizational adaptation.
Yes, we have to, because we are seeing that in the world. If you want to go far, with little stress, right, you need to follow a certain tangent. So you realize that we have depth, but you are not given the opportunity, because all they see is a pretty face, a pretty distinct. Let me give you an example. This is when I was in uni. Let me put it that way. This is me in uni. So my dad worked in a certain place, and I used to ambush him, because when we are home, and I go get the money I want. So there was this one day I went to my father's office, right, to do my usual ambushing. I'm in uni, for crying out loud, and I didn't look anything like this. If you knew me, you trust. I didn't look anything like this. So I'm there, because hey, is this your daughter? Hey, and you've been hiding here. Hey, she has very romantic lips, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
seriously.
I'm being, and this is,
No, I think there's a usual comment.
and this is in the seat of, I'll say it, Parliament House. So this was a parliamentarian,
Wow.
and I'm in uni.
A lawmaker.
Bam. And I'm in uni. And you can imagine what that did to me. So I'm just picking that was me in uni. This was 2011 matter I'm telling you about. So you can just imagine if at that point in time we were hearing comments like this, with the world in which we are now, what do you think is happening?
Okay, so in my in my
In your
hope
defense.
that I've not been misconstrued, I'm
you
saying
have
that
interest.
the
bars have been lowered.
the cognitive flexibility that we need our females to imbibe. I think we will have the men have to be blamed. We have. It comes back to this marriage thing. Should a woman stay? We've somehow brought that thing to industry,
Culture.
and we've kind of capped women's strength and capabilities, and it's not helping.
Yeah.
Because with the men, you know what? I'll get in trouble. I think Mukwa.
All right, Pastor Newton.
Yeah,
Pastor
I
Newton,
know.
please.
But we are, to be frank,
You
be
know,
frank.
but
Pastor
like,
Newton,
you know,
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's, as I said, it still boils down to we have to work and make the system work. Although as human beings, I'll make the system to work, but we have to get people who are principled to also man those systems.
But we are.
So that is where I'm coming to
They don't
you,
like you.
because I feel
Yeah.
like
I don't like you.
the reason why I feel like is because not based on fact. I feel like the regular Ghanaian is Christian. Okay,
no, it
should be. All right,
Athens church.
should Athens
Should
church.
be.
Christian is different from.
Athens
Oh
church.
no, it's Christian, but there are levels of Christianity.
Okay, I like that. Athens
No,
church.
there are levels
No,
of
but,
So
Christianity.
but
sometimes
Jesus
you-
is Christian, they are no
So
levels.
you
Those are spiritual
expect
Christians.
you expect them to be principled.
Yeah.
You expect them to approach
Oh, they
their
don't
work.
like you.
I think the
They'll
reason
tell
too
you
is
are
that
Also for
Uh-huh.
mommy.
Also, so you tell
Also
me
for mommy.
what is wrong, because you know
Yeah.
so you sometimes expect someone.
Based on
Should
your
I say
prophecy,
this?
based
Say
on
it.
what he professes.
Don't
went-
be like KB. say.
I went somewhere. Oh, for me, I can say a lot of things. Some of my clients, they don't care about some of these things. So
Good for you.
yeah, some of my clients, they don't care about some of these things. Now, I have friends in the banking industry who tell me that there are certain positions in the bank now that belongs to women.
Women.
All right,
Yeah.
like getting credit, like roping in a lot of big men to
Sales.
open accounts,
Yeah.
the sales area,
Yeah, the marketing.
because there is a certain
Customer
there's
relations.
a certain connotation behind the statement they hear in meetings, like do what you need to do to get the account.
Yeah.
All right,
Ah.
and they are asked further questions. What do you really mean? No, we are just saying that you, dear, when you go, do what you need to do. So in that space, like KB is saying,
This hurts.
how does that person become principled now? Because you see, their boss is asking too much of them, and in this place, it's not even their mind their boss is looking at. Their boss is looking at dress well,
Their
stand on
femininity.
their heel, yeah, and use
Perceived
that.
femininity.
Use that
To get what you want.
to
use
get what
you
the
have.
company.
So use what
the company
you have
must get.
to
So-
meet your
That's what we
targets.
want. Yeah.
So-
Meanwhile, we'll take 80%. We'll give you 20.
Yeah. So, Pastor Newton, I'm coming to you. When we advise people to be principled when it comes to their quality of work that they give out, what exactly are we saying? Because the same people you speak to on Sundays are the same people I meet on Monday morning. So this gentleman, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I get you.
The same person you're speaking to on Sunday, I will meet that person on a Monday morning. Okay, and even the approach, the way they speak to you. You know, my wife and I walked into a facility, and the treatment there, I'm telling you, around East Legon, I was asking myself, I'm like, babe, we should be here often. Because, like, why? Why is the person being this nice? Overly nice, as if they were paid not to make mistakes that day. Overly nice. Say, please, oh, no, your wife can come with, oh, you like to come, please come. They open the door for you and like, you go and experience that at a different health facility. That is, you know, for the government or something. The approach, the language, the everything about it is not quality, because we are talking about the quality of work.
Yeah.
All right. So why is it that what we say to people on Sunday changes on Monday morning?
Some it could be because of society and some salary issues. When they compromise, if they don't compromise, they lose a job. And now where do they find job?
Oh God.
Because already so for you two, you remember how you were in prayer with them and they got they got a job.
Some of us, we have shared them.
No, you see, the thing is,
No,
people
you are
who
stingy. No
learn to
child.
have the lifestyle of Esther, who will say, if I perish, I perish, are few in the system.
No, those people, BB will fear usually.
I don't have any.
Oh no, yeah, some
You
don't
are
have.
better than 80% of the Ghanaian masses. We are not talking about Jowlu and East Lagos.
Who said Lucy's working in East Lagos?
No, I mean like in terms of status.
Social standing.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
Lucy-
better than 80%.
Hey,
of the
then Lucy
Ghanaian
is
masses.
doing very well.
No,
I'm not talking about
it's
Lucy.
optics.
Lucy,
Because
Lucy,
when
we'll
you're
we'll
in
talk
Accra,
about
I,
it.
I keep saying when we are
It's
this,
the
when in
optics,
Accra,
so-
Kumasi, Takrade, there's an impression
Guy.
that is Ghana.
I like the word impression. What you sorry, we've done it to you again. What you are talking about? Yeah, we keep doing it.
But we'll hear from him because
Yeah.
he's the pastor.
And we will be joining him
Yeah,
because
because
we
we want to
want him to
understand.
fix the problem.
Everything that you
It's
are
industry.
seeing, it's all about the optics. You see, Ghanaians, we have become mastercraft people at
Deception.
getting the optics right.
Deception.
Oh, yeah, let me be nice about it. Getting the optics right.
We are aesthetics.
Packaging, no, yeah. Now Ghanaians have understood packaging.
Settings.
So a certain person, will feel say, fake it till you make it. We have become the embodiment of fake it till you make it, and we are excelling at faking it.
Wow.
And there, yes, everybody, everybody has become a faker at one point or the other. Do you understand? If I look at a certain way, let me give you today. I went to a certain bank, and I have an account in that bank. but I bank in a different branch because of proximity. But today I'm going somewhere.
Ginger in the mic.
Oh, okay. Today I'm going somewhere and I'm like, here's what. Oh, same branch is the same branch. So let me just stop by, and then me roll back. I was shook. I didn't understand it was the same bank. Aesthetics different. I'm telling you, and I'm like, is it because? So this bank that I'm talking about, today I went to the East Legon branch. Hitherto today I was going to the Achimota branch.
Oh, Achimota, they say
But,
normal
madam,
place.
No, please, you're talking about my
a bank.
neighborhood.
See, this bank.
When you were speaking about
this bank is not a multinational. It's a global. It's not global. It's just an African bank. Why are they there to even the service? Sister, the service.
Location.
The teller.
Yeah. Even this shopping malls and stuff.
I didn't want to leave.
So that's what we're preventing ourselves from saying when Lucy mentioned the retail area. Yes, the shopping malls is devastating to work there. People are on their feet.
Yeah, I have people
over
who are really
9 hours. You should hear how much they get paid.
500.
But guy, here's what. I also have some for me, in as much as they're on their feet and all of that, most of them too, they don't help themselves.
Yes.
Me, if I tell you the jobs I have done before I'm sitting here today, I've been a janitor before.
But a janitor na Kaogana Kasemuna
Cleaner.
coffee gaps. Yeah.
The janitor there, the coffee gaps issue is what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I have
But
cleaned.
Ghana version.
In fact, coffee gaps is not even a cleaner, like a janitor. He's a cleaner.
I was a cleaner. I wasn't a janitor.
Yeah.
I was a cleaner.
Janitor is a little
I was
high.
assigned to washrooms. I scrubbed washrooms. I have waited tables before. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't done is retail and everything, but a lot of it comes back to what we are. Your attitude towards that particular thing. Look, you don't know where your savior will show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's
We have to talk about that thing. In as much as the employers are horrible, like this bank that I went to, they have a system where you can rate.
Yeah.
So if I go there now, I'll rate
I
East
even
Legon
enter-
higher,
yeah.
and I'll rate
Achimota.
Achimota lower because of what? One, even the way the woman even smart. When I saw it, she looked up standoffish, but when I entered, I'm like, a week. When I left, Sky, in fact, I'll be going there.
You know, one of my banks. I experienced a problem with one of my banks around Kutubabi.
I'll go there. I'll go there.
I said, see, I'm not getting the problem fixed. So what did I do? I wrote it on Facebook.
Oh.
And me, when I want to get results, I
You're
use
one
my
of those,
Facebook. Yes, because my Facebook travels.
Then you tag them.
Yes, then I tagged them.
Aye.
Then I think my boss
Reached out.
tagged one of their managers.
Something I can say.
Then I got a WhatsApp message around 11 p.m.
So scared.
from someone. Tell me exactly what the problem is. Let's fix it. So they suggested a certain brand for me to go to. So I'm telling you. So I went to that branch. Like Ginger is saying, the lady at the front desk. When I finished, I wrote it on my WhatsApp status that yes, I said
Facebook.
This lady, they must add something to her salary.
Yeah.
See, she fixed the problem in minutes.
I'm sure it was no problem
And
at all.
yes, and I was asking myself, so what was wrong with the other branch?
They have no idea.
I had to sit down 2 hours waiting for nothing. Waiting for nothing. And when you ask, oh, train, hold on, we are coming. But they are conversing. And you can hear them loud, laughing. Where is the work? Where is the quality of work? You have how many hours in this office? You are supposed to do X, Y, Z. There are clients sitting, standing, waiting on you.
And this may be a private institution.
It's a private one.
Yeah, so just like KB said when you said there should be punishments too, because when you went and if there was a responsible supervisor, you report it. You should see an action taken.
But you see, that is why I'll go back to my former workplace. We as humans, the only punishment we understand is when it affects our money.
Yeah.
Because especially when you read the article about
Yeah.
productivity and we not doing what is, the finest thing and all that. That's my former place. When you produce an item and it is rejected, you don't get paid for it. So maybe you are supposed to make a handkerchief and the finishing, the threading and other things, because it is for export. You don't do it well and it gets to be rejected. You don't get paid for it.
I don't even need that.
Please,
So there is
for waste.
standardization
But then
with the
what makes help me? What makes when she mentioned export, what makes it that the white man will not accept this handkerchief? But if they were producing in Ghana, like what is
so
Ghana, like what is it?
It all boils down to quality of work. I'm coming.
Standard.
Yes, and standard.
But why do we accept that it's not it's
there,
but
there is a regular standard. There is a regular standard. KB.
No, but if we were producing in Ghana, if they were producing in Ghana,
I don't know.
Your boss will say yen shipping.
So let me have a man-to-man conversation with you.
Market.
KB, I'm coming. Let me have a man-to-man conversation with you. Let's say, for instance, you're supposed to travel for work, all right, and you are put in a particular hotel. I have been put in a hotel to work where I had to change the hotel with my money.
No.
Okay, why? Because when they mentioned where I was sleeping, I looked it up, and the images I saw online and the room I entered were two different.
The packaging that she mentioned.
Yes. So at the end of the day, we are talking about the quality of work.
Yes.
So in the building construction real estate area, when we say a hotel is 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star,
What makes
it comes with certain.
What makes it so?
This is not by way saying that this is a white man standard. No. If we are
You
saying-
can't go to a 2-star and be
standard.
expecting
you
a
cannot
3-star
tell me
treatment.
that I would pay 120 for a transport system from Accra to Kumasi and get the same service I'm getting for
Sprinter, 50
35 cities.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we are talking about.
Good.
So I'm not. What Lucy is saying is not really about what a white man is saying. It's about there are certain handkerchiefs when they sell it to you and you open it all 4 square. You begin to why in the palm here?
I said
So KB, let's.
But like
But we are not talking about what the white man.
The Ghanaian will go like,
and
that's
yes,
white
maybe
man.
that's
so that is where
So she just answered you
that.
it is a soup.
Yeah.
But where is that coming from?
It is coming from
So I don't
our
know.
lack of personal, your friend is saying irresponsibility. You see, Ghana for me, I
think we have
Ghanaians,
enjoyed mediocrity. We have
no,
celebrated
we have
and
no.
But there's a
it-
thing.
no,
Where
we
is it
have- no,
coming
we have-
from?
No, it is. It is coming from.
Neglect.
No, I didn't neglect him. It is like our
It's our signature.
naturally. Yeah, the
Signature.
way into. Akwa said it's the same this package that I'm talking about right now. Listen, you can be filthy as a hog in your house, right? But if you come out and you are wearing the latest trends, you will see chair on a chairman beba.
True.
That is where it is coming from. What you are saying. It's in the fear, pa. People live in places that have been paid as human beings shouldn't live in. But if you see these same people in town, you will shock.
The posture, the
So it is,
disposition of the
listen,
person.
we have become fakers. We are fake.
yeah,
We are fake.
dishonest,
We are.
so-
Bam.
So what
We have
Lucy
become
is
very
saying,
fake.
it has nothing to do with the American man. Sir.
No, I'm
No.
talking about.
And-
She said
and
you guys say
I-
you export, and the reason why it will be rejected and that person will be paid is that we are taking
Because
it to
they are enforcing their
Strasbourg,
standards.
or we are
but
taking it to
there is
Luxembourg.
a
And
certain
For
GSA.
them, they do not do mediocrity.
So that is
We
what I
are
was-
ready to
I was
accept
coming
it.
back to
Standard.
I was coming back
On
to
Saturday,
We have accepted.
I had some international partners to do an event at Alisa Hotel. Okay. When I was booked for the event, Yeah.
International
I'm coming.
we wait. See, the event that was scheduled to start at 4 p.m. ended up starting around 5 something.
Alisa with international.
That
Are you
no,
surprised?
and I'm saying
Well, I'm a
that
bit
it's not
disappointed.
just
No,
it's
don't be.
not just the person who is coming to do the event.
We have
The
Everybody
accepted.
people
else.
also attending the event,
The audience.
and you as an MC, of course.
Yeah.
Ghana
But
The
even-
audience, they
even-
can really
even-
punish MCs,
Yeah,
man. Because I'm leaving home. I didn't eat because of the time I thought
You
the
didn't
program
eat.
was
It
going.
will end and go home.
Exactly.
Back,
So
go back early.
it's like
Exactly.
like Ginger is saying, at the end of the day, the approach to
We've
our
accepted,
work,
yeah, mediocrity and all
everything
those
is there. Like
And as an MC who start here,
They
you are
say-
the go-to person
See,
to
hold
till.
on,
Yeah.
hold on. Guys, let me give you everybody take this free tip. I beg you. Whenever anybody invites you somewhere, no
I should
matter
eat
when the person guy, funeral, party, anything,
But I see us-
eat in your house. Guy, like it's if you're flexible where you don't eat.
So, like I was saying, it will be rejected.
yes, it will be
And
rejection.
and because it will affect the person's salary.
I hope you do
Okay.
deduction.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
you don't get paid.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Beyond that, no. There are some people beyond
You see,
beyond
the
not being
company-
paid.
The company
when
would
wasting
lose.
materials.
But the company would lose.
Because they will sell it.
will sell
Ah,
at a
but-
lower rate.
To a lower audience.
Of course,
see,
they were
That's
great.
what you see. That's what I'm coming
But
to
there
a
are
lower
great,
audience.
yeah, but there are
A
great
third
to
world
this thing.
Me too.
Listen to me.
You see,
It will be sold.
Boomerang
I
back to what?
know. Yes, it will be sold.
Yeah.
To who?
At a lower rate.
To us.
which?
Not
To
Carnation.
us.
Maybe allow Lucy.
To us. No, to us.
Allow
us.
Carnation.
Unfortunately,
Let's allow Lucy to.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
their product, the Ghanaians don't patronize it
Oh.
because even in our system that is sold here is very expensive. So it is still the whites when
Ah,
they
but
come
great.
down
Their
here,
dumping site, we call that in
when
globalization.
they come here.
They bring their old
So when
stuff.
they
in.
come for holidays and other
Brony
things,
well.
they still
Patronize
patronize
those
their
ones.
items at a lower rate.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
KB.
that is because their products we
Maybe.
can't afford.
Let me tell you something.
So we don't buy.
Ghana for.
But Lucy, are you done?
No, I'm not done.
Oh, Ginger,
what I'm
let
trying
Lucy.
to say is that because it affects their money, they will do it next time. That is it. And then two, because there are systems in place to check to make sure that they are up to par.
Yeah.
So then standards are met.
Consistently.
So the systems are there, people are implementing, but sometimes when we overlook the checks, because one item, even the one that is producing it does the check before it goes to the queue.
Quality assurance.
Yes,
Yeah.
quality assurance for them to also check to ascertain. And sometimes one thing, I've actually been in a situation where there is back and forth because the person who produced thought he has done, and look, it is not. So because of that, it's a reject. You don't get paid for that. But when you do an excellent job, that is why I came to. You said you asked somebody to sell water, and then there is an increment of 5. You get bonuses. And they are always looking forward to the bonuses, and
So
they are
they'll
so
put in the
excited
work.
about it. And you see, it is not a standardized bonus. It goes up
As and when.
as and when. So they are always
So are
excited.
you saying we don't punish enough financially in Ghana? That's
We-
why they're
because
mediocre.
We
the
don't.
only
Punish
language
enough,
we
we,
don't
reward
we
enough.
don't.
we understand is when it affects our money.
We don't,
Serious,
because
the only
KB,
language
if
you
you
understand
really
is when
take,
it affects
if
our
you
money.
listen to all the conversations that we have, both on radio, TV, everywhere, you realize that regardless of how bad a company, State Department, agencies, all the sectors and the industry, how bad they are doing, they still get paid.
And
Now,
also get
question
paid
is
their usual.
why? If we sit here and we talk about, just to put some names out there, we talk about no, it
Let's
matters.
do
No, it matters.
Give us scenarios, not the
okay, so
point
in the
blank.
health sector,
Exactly.
okay, we are told that a particular hospital, one of our teaching hospitals, with their machines are broken down. We have issues with this, but then every single board member, every single executive,
Get the exact
every single
payment.
top manager gets exact payment.
They will get their
Where is the
bonuses
IGF?
too.
Where is the
me-
IGF? If we are supposed to talk about the internally generated funds, where will it come from? It will come from your input,
Yeah.
my input, his input, for the hospital
Collective.
to realize the internally generated funds.
The banks that were collapsed, most of them were not in good standing, and board members were taking huge sums of. Once they knew
So
we
where
are
is the work
collapsing.
ethic?
So that one,
Okay,
that's
so
where also
to
for us to
speak
explain.
To speak to what you are talking about here.
You've kept us in all night.
I was
You've kept us in
listening to-
conventions, Sundays, and
I
then
was
you give us
listening
this
to
breakfast.
on
So
radio,
why is
right?
it like that?
Where
finish.
somebody the same hospital thing, right?
Yeah.
So they also needed a particular machinery, equipment to work with. It was bought. 2 months down the line, they get a report that the equipment is malfunctioning. Okay, no problem. It is malfunctioning, so they pack it. There's a place where they pack these things. So I think a year or so later, they bring in experts also to come and check on it. The machine was not there. So the person who donated the machine goes to another private hospital,
And it is there.
and the machine is there working.
Wow.
So what they did was, what they do, let me see what they do. What happens is that because we are not honest people, we lack integrity, we lack morals.
That is the thing.
They sabotage the machine. And this happens every time. And you see, as she said, because of the lack of checks and balances. And you know the worst part, we know it is always one department or the other everywhere you go. It is a procurement. It is procurement and operations. They are those who do this. So Ghana for now, see, we are very you see, we Ghanaians, even let me not go far. Look at, for those of us, if I look at our roads right now, I always tell people that look, if you want to see the true Ghanaian, go onto the road, take a walk in the regular place. Let's not even make it too big. Our little, even our homes, how do we dispose? Where I live, guy, we have this thing, what Zoom Lion
Trash
came.
beans.
They came. And the municipal assembly said that okay, here's what now they should give every house a destiny. It got to a time they were not coming. So I even went to I forgot to go to the office once and I asked them. They're like, the people say they don't want it. The people say they don't. So you see our behavior. So a little money that we will pay for convenience, we choose not to. Meanwhile, you need it.
But some to the baller people don't come. That is another
They
thing.
don't come because my place. They didn't come because the people say that they don't.
But that you were paying, they should come and serve you.
They won't come.
Smart.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to.
Okay, please.
I also want to buttress because you were also on Osofo that the people they preach and
No,
all
it's
night,
KB.
they
I want to know
for.
the impact they are
but
bringing.
Smart was also directed.
Now, as we
wanted
are
to know-
almost always in
But-
church in
but-
Ghana,
What
yeah,
come-
see,
what
I
come
want
is so-
I want to
we will save the best for
I
us.
want to say something. I want to say something.
Okay.
Because we mentioned integrity and all.
Yeah,
You
honesty.
see,
Since the time of John the Baptist.
I always say that
Oh, let's
we
allow
Christians,
Lucy
we
to have
Christians are the people that are supposed to have been the best employees everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying this out of example. I'll still use myself as an example in the environment I've worked in because and in my working space I've worked in different caliber of people with different temperaments and all.
Yeah, human
But
resource. Yeah.
yes, and that is even before I was working in the human resource. I was a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone wrote it on my TikTok page.
Okay.
Says, hey, say hi to Madam Lucy for
Yeah,
me. I
I
say, Madam
had
Lucy.
been teaching for 15 years.
Say, hey, she was my
Yeah.
teacher.
So I have worked under different heads and so I have worked.
Egos and all of
Yes,
that. Yeah.
and this has always been my watchword. When the Bible says that even when you work for a wicked person, work as though you are doing it unto God.
yeah.
It has actually helped me in a way because there was one of my bosses. I was teaching French and I write my lesson notes in French. So she said she can't vet something. You
That
know,
she
she
doesn't
can't.
understand.
She doesn't understand.
Is
And
it
I
my fault
understood-
you don't speak French?
I understood her point because people actually, there are instances where people write the same thing over and over and over. So she has trust issues. I got her point.
That's
I also told her that it's a language I'm supposed to teach. Even the items and the tools I'm using is written in the language. And her reason was
One
that
of her students.
her reason was that the other Ghanaian languages are writing their lesson notes in English. But why am I writing it in French? And
Because
I
I
told
teach
her that,
French.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Practice
she
makes
wasn't
perfect.
vetting my notes for 7 weeks. Now, within that period, I was supposed to be supervised for promotion. And that is something that could be used against me. And you see, that is why I said that Yemubia Sworden.
Yeah.
Though she wasn't vetting, I was writing it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing it for her. I was doing it for the external persons that will come and check. But once they came and I had been writing it, it was okay.
You got your
I
promotion.
did my work diligently with it. This is the reason why I'm saying that. When I got tired, I said I wouldn't teach again. My brain, I'm tired. I want to venture into somewhere else, and I wanted to do the HR. My company, it's a white
Yeah.
person, so they called, and you see, because I know how I work, she's on my CV. We had an issue with job, so even as at the time she left, our relationship wasn't so good.
Yeah.
But my company that I was vying for called her and
reference.
asked whether if she had a company, she would let me work with her.
So she was your reference.
She was my reference.
She has to be.
And she said yes.
Oh.
So you see, that is why I'm saying that. And she's not the only person. Before I left her school, I went to another school. And the boss that I was there recommended me to the new person that was coming. When I was told, I was shocked. So when it comes to being diligent, see, it has to be you don't care. The bottom line is
Know
you are
what you
doing
stand
what you are
for.
supposed to do.
It seems as if the means of survival has had a bit of override
Oh, yeah.
on the means to do right.
Yeah.
Because
Should it?
it
Because
seems.
we want to,
Yes,
we don't
it
want to
seems.
lose.
Like,
Even if
hey.
you look in our politics, even nationally,
Yeah.
those who can
And
stand
that
up
has
to what is
seeped
wrong
in. That
are
has
those who
seeped in.
have
And
their
it has
own
gained
money.
roots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has become
Yeah,
a
it
norm.
has affected everywhere because
Honestly, because what I have, and I have countless experiences, but you see, when you are not there, because though all those things are coming in, you still work with them as you ought. You can even go over so that they know that it is not just about the person. It is what you will not do and what you are willing to do and do right. It's that simple. And this situation has made people sometimes. Me, I've HR. She's unbending, she's hard, she's robotic. Hey, just say the kind of expression.
I don't have a problem if HRs are all those things. If they themselves embody those things they require of me.
So the thing is that is why I'm saying that I get my colleagues who go like, as for Lucy, even with her, she does it to herself.
Well,
so that is how we are supposed to work. It's, even if it goes against us, and that is what we are supposed to do. We should.
The Ghanaian has a lot to do in this particular environment.
Is the main factor too,
Mm.
because
my
when you
have
get
taught me
someone
a
who wants
lot
to
of-
stand up to mediocrity, we are all shutting him up.
Yeah.
But also, we bring
We
our kids
ostracize
to
the
you
person.
since Sunday school till now. Our elders are the chairman
But
and
you
the
know
MP.
preaching-
Why are we
In short,
having this
what I
problem?
want
You
to
know
say is that
preaching is-
Lucy Manning
we
Chim
can,
because
we
Charlie.
can all embody
What's
the
up?
integrity, the
There's somebody with
responsibility,
different-
the quality,
Lucy, what's up from
the
Jim?
discipline.
Lucy has something to say.
Yes, because those are our core values. Integrity. We
Yeah.
are all talking about it. Do we have it?
Who is we?
Are we responsible enough? Do we have quality? Does our
Lucy,
work
who is
bring
we?
out quality?
Who is we?
Are we disciplined? And you see, the thing about teamwork,
Defend we.
if we understand
She's
that
not
our
even
work
minding me.
affects, it's a ripple effect. It
Yeah,
affects
my
We
input
don't
is your
care.
output.
We don't
My
care.
output is
say-
also
I
your
always say
input.
that
We
my,
don't-
my,
Lucy,
as for me,
you must also
my
answer my
experiences
question,
have
Mami.
really taught
Lucy,
because
we
you
don't
realize
care.
that it affects you. It affects you.
We
So-
don't care.
Lucy.
So
Okay.
if I'm being
We
lazy,
don't- I don't care.
the others become wow.
I don't
and
care.
They sit you up.
I don't care.
Because at the end of the day,
The
I don't like
institution that is in charge of our attitudes and morals is at least the church. Also, for
They-
why
they-
is it
they are
not
not
the
the
They are,
only
they are
ones.
not the
They-
only one.
but-
You're only in church
Maybe-
once a week.
quintessentially or fundamentally?
Maybe-
That is what those institutions are
They
for.
entreat.
Character
They
reformation.
entreat.
It's just
But
ourselves.
from
It's
beginning,
ourselves.
The laws
Beginning,
add
what
up.
happened to parenting?
They entreat.
You have parents.
From the
they are not your
pulpit,
pastors.
pastors entreat.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
But
laws,
preaching is like an
the,
advice. You
the
can
laws
teach it
we
all.
have in
You
the
can
nation
admonish me.
must,
But
see
the
to
people are
it.
not
They do.
But
oh.
let's do this quickly.
Don't we get angry and we don't
You
come
can
to
send
church
in your
again?
comments,
And
guys. Let me have that.
Since also for whom so.
I'm coming. We'll come to. We'll come to.
I'm not so
Let me
happy
come to the
about it.
platform. It's 0203438710. I have a number of messages coming in, and I think looking at the messages that are coming in, what would happen is we might have a part 2 of this particular conversation because we are not even done scratching the surface yet. I wanted to even zone into time loss and output. You know, a lot of people don't consider time loss as part of the things that affects people's productivity at work and all that. You know, how people waste time and stuff like that. But then let's jump onto some WhatsApp messages coming in. Ajwa from Takwa says, to be honest, it seems like employers today prefer cheap labor.
I know.
Ampa.
They know there are limited job opportunities, so no matter what, you will stay and work. This demoralizes many people and prevents them from giving their best. Nonetheless, we, the employees, must also do our part, irrespective of the unfair practices of some employers.
Yeah.
After all, we will all be judged according to our works in the end. I love the scripture parts he added. We'll all be judged, Nampa. Now let's move to Kojo Steve from Edgeso. He says that the problem we are facing within our working areas lies in the fact that employers often value their work, their money, and their companies more than their employees. Many do not take time to step down and see the tendencies and efforts employees put in to get their work done. As a result, they fail to recognize how valuable their employees are. That is Kojo Steve from Edgeso. This is Ja from Wa. Ja says that the mere fact that our leaders, politicians in bracket, would use one day to bag home your entire life salary. There is nothing to motivate the ordinary public sector worker to give up his or her
If
best.
our system works,
One
it
day.
will work. If we have a system
This message
that
came with no name. If you are the owner of this message, please show up for me. The message I'm about to read has no name. Can you believe this? I was assigned to a sole proprietor by my security company. The client offered 1,500 cedis for the company to give out
Yeah,
as
but
an
400.
amount of
700.
800 cedis to his guards. However, the security company deducted 100 cedis and offered us only 700 cedis.
Probably lucky.
They threatened to sack us if we let the client know about this
Can you
deduction.
imagine?
Now, these and many other things that are happening. I think next week, producer, please remind me, we'll do cheap labor. We'll do the disparity of salaries and how it influences people's workflow.
We are not talking about.
Abeba, it will come. No, we would open the phone lines as at this time. 0207 10,001. 0207 10,001. Call us now. Let's talk about Ghana's working environment, the business space. How is it looking like?
Kevin was saying something. I just remembered a news item I saw. Somebody shared on my wall that one of the ministers, I think the Minister of Road and Transport, said no serious country does
Who,
not
Amakwata?
does not or say
So
no
that's not-
serious
it's road minister.
road minister or say no serious
Does not have
country
roads without toes.
does not have roads without toes. So clearly Ghana is not a serious
He
country.
himself too is not serious.
No, I mean he
Because
said
no,
it.
everything is
They
leadership.
are
So
the
if you,
leaders. So
are
he
not-
has said it. So clearly, because honestly, see, in the small organization that I have worked, and with the group of people that were overseeing all the checks and balances, were overseeing it, and people were breaking their backs to make sure that things are just check. And
Lucy,
a
hold that
state-
thought. Please write it down. I don't want you to forget because I'm very much interested in it. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Be Frank.
Okay. My name is Bra Kwame, and I'm calling from Elubo.
All right, bro, coming from Elubo. Let's hear you.
With what you are discussing, I have an experience with it. I completed SS in 2016, and I was asked to go and teach in one private school.
Okay.
The professor told me he was going to pay me 5 Ghana cedis a week
5
for
CDs
6 months. Yes, please.
Which part of Ghana?
a
For
week.
probation-
Was it in Elubo?
No, in Accra.
Wow.
5 Ghana cedis. And the first week I did it, he paid me for the 5 cedis. The second week, at the end of the second week, I was very fortunate. It increased to 7 cedis, 50 pesos, because some of the teachers couldn't bear with the treatment. So for me, I always say, people are willing to work in Ghana, but unless we have a favorable pay system, that's going to help everyone. That's my opinion.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much, Bro Kwame. That's Bro Kwame from Elubo saying that people are willing to work in Ghana if only they will have a favorable pay system to support them. You can also call into the show 0207 10,001 0207 10,001. Let me read this message that I have on Facebook. Yao White says that the hungry man has no standard. Why do I disagree? I know that it's supposed to be the reality, but he says, no, let me read the whole message so that we'll put it in context. Survival first. Cut corners. Before you realize you are soaked in corruption and you can't come back. Even when you get the world at your feet. Even when you get the world at your feet. So what he's saying is that the hungry man has no standard. So what they do is that they cut corners to make it, and before they realize they are in a pit of corruption and they cannot come out of it, even if they have the world at their feet. We have a lot of comments here. Hilda Tete says interesting. She put 3 dots there. It means she has a lot on her mind, but she can't type. Anthony Hammond says and it goes on and on. So we have more messages coming in, but let's still go on the phone lines. It's 0207 10,001 0207 10,001. Let's come back to the studio, Lucy.
Yes, I was saying that in my small workspace where we had systems and people that were doing the checks and balances were making sure that things were at par. I mean, I think a state has a lot more resource to be able to do that. And I want to buttress what Yao said. Charlie, we can be hungry people with dignity. Somebody will say dignity will not put food on the table, but you see, it will take you farther when you least expect it. And then also, I've also noticed that because I've been able to work in a government state, I've worked in a private state-owned, which is
You
in
have
Ghana.
to hold that thought again for me. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Be Frank.
Good afternoon.
Could you please turn down the volume on your TV set?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Ajesim Nicholas, calling from Volta region.
Yes, Nicholas, we can hear you, but we are getting a lot of feedback in the studio. If you can turn down the volume on your TV set,
I'm enjoying your program very well.
Okay.
In fact, it's educative and I have experience. I think I completed school around 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 2016 I was employed by a security company in Accra. Their main station is based at Joburg, but because of something I won't mention the name.
Please don't.
they charge on us, each security personnel, they take about 2,500. For instance, when they take you and you are a security personnel at Accra Mall, we charge per security man 2,500, and at the month they pay us 400 at our monthly salary. So you can see that. So it made me to stop the work, and then seriously I took all their things away.
No. Let's talk about this. Before you go off, we must address this issue.
I took all their
You
things
took
away.
all their things away. How?
Papa
the uniform and then all the
Wait.
thing they gave me.
Do you have plans of starting your own security company in the Volta region?
Oh, no.
So why do you take the uniform away, my lord?
Like all they gave is so painful. Yeah.
I get it. All right. Thank you so much. A caller coming in all the way from Volta region.
Welcome.
Okay, so that is so there is an agency that goes to get the contracts, and they put a 2,500 cedis on the head of every security guard. No, he said 400.
I said 400.
He said 400.
Yeah.
Out of 2,005.
They kind of manage operational costs.
And I think that this is one of the things that actually happened with one of the biggest waste management companies in Ghana. I mean, this issue became like a big thing, that the monies that they were charging per the
government
sweepers and all that. Now, this is sad to hear that it looks like there is no honesty in the whole working environment. Like the space is so toxic, and people always say this thing, which I disagree, that if you are soft, you can become a millionaire.
It's not true.
People say that
even if you want to go clean, you can't become.
Yes, you can't become a millionaire. You must cut corners. You
mean
must be
and
mean.
terrible.
You must cheat.
yeah.
You must
Like a bloodsucker.
Yeah,
Settings.
I don't know where we got this idea from. Where no, you must cut corners. You must, and there are days where you are close to writing off a particular contract. Then the person who is going to mediate between yourself and the company tells you that, see, I can let them sign it, but this is my stake in it.
Percentage.
And the person has no idea that
You
the work requires
The amount of
that.
money, yeah.
Now this goes back to the quality of work.
Yes,
Now this
our
argument is the
roads
quality
and our
of work.
buildings
Yeah,
and all
So
that.
if I went to I went to pitch for a road construction business,
Yeah.
and it will cost me 3,000
$10
cedis
million,
to construct the road from Jolu to Achimota. The one that helped me get the contract says he will take 1,000. So if I have 2,000, what do you think will happen to that road? I will end up using 1,000 or 1,500
So you will pay
construct the
workers
road.
and stuff
you
too.
have
Okay,
Yeah.
and then if we use the road for the next 2 weeks,
It's your top.
then the road starts changing color. Then everybody's like, hey, why? We did the road just last week.
Yeah.
Then accident. So the quality of work actually affects almost everything that we do.
And it's our checks and balances. I'll come back to that. We are too selfish. We are too greedy. It
Is
is
there
not
not
about
a cause?
To be selfish?
Yes.
in the workspace.
How come we the only us? Is there not a reason we have not identified?
When you go to MC events, don't you have at the back of your mind that you want to put smiles on the face of the couples?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you want to deliver quality of service to the event organizers, that is your aim. If I hold a microphone in front of any audience, if I'm doing a seminar, conference, anything, I always get into meetings to ask my event organizers at the end of the event, what are you expecting if it is sign-ups, I want to get the people to sign up more for your business. If it is couples, I want them to be happy that they had fun. They have recorded lovely moments.
Like all that.
But why should I be selfish?
Making the Ghanaian only and somebody else is not, and we are?
Isn't
there
a hungry man? Is it a cost to survive?
I think one of the causes also may be we don't give things to the people that they are due. Okay, we don't give
like merit.
Who merits?
So how come? What is making us not merit and others do merit?
We talk about nepotism all the time.
Is it genetic? Is it geographical? Because at the end of the day, there are some, like we keep mentioning Rwanda Africans. So what are they doing different? We are not.
Systems. You see,
So
it is the
systems.
human beings that will
My
put
dear,
the systems in
You
place.
see, for me, I won't look at it. So I won't look at the big picture. I'll zoom in on who the average Ghanaian is. You see, there is one thing that the average Ghanaian lacks: empathy.
Really?
I'm coming. Empathy. You see, I didn't say sympathy. Empathy.
Yeah, I know empathy. Yeah.
Ghanaians, we will sympathize with you, but we actually do not have empathy. You see, if you are in a work environment, no matter the role that you are playing, when you are dealing with the next person, ask yourself one question: how would is this how I would want somebody to deal with me if I were in that role? You see, this thing that KB is saying about the men of God and all of that, we conveniently, Ghanaians, we pick and choose. We are pick and choosers. We pick and choose. We are not consistent. We are not straight. At least that's what I have seen. This is very subjective. If you disagree with me,
It's what you have experienced. That is what is giving you that observation.
We are very subjective. We like to pick and choose. If the thing will affect us, we will shout the loudest. If it doesn't affect us, we are okay with the status quo.
Yeah, it must be okay.
We are afraid to shake things up. You are in a workplace. There is no unity because I don't like you. Why don't I like you? I just do not like you. There is something about you that I don't like.
You take your work too serious.
And all these things, and all these things boils down to one thing. It is self-loathing. You see, I don't like what I am, but I am too afraid to confront myself. So what do? Thank you very much. I will displace onto you.
It's a blame game in
And
Ghana.
justify it.
Yeah.
In the same company, same department. Let's take the marketing and sales department, for instance. How is it that you are in the same department? What is the goal? To sell.
Yeah.
You are the heartbeat of the company. We understand that everybody has targets, but that shouldn't prevent you from extending a helping hand to me if you see that I am struggling. We go for sales meetings. You hear me say that, oh, I went to A, B, C, D. For all you know, this man is your church member. Maybe I'm targeting this. Maybe I'm targeting Smart. Right? And I'm targeting Apostle Francis. And I know I'm okay with Smart. What prevents, maybe I work with Smart, what prevents Smart from telling me that, oh, we're free. I know, let me hold your hand and take you to this person. I understand there are the odd scenarios where people don't deserve it, but most of the time, we lack empathy.
That is why I say that it comes back to teamwork. There is one thing that I had always said to
Ghana's
my
teamwork. Ghana's teamwork,
is
Lucy, is for
individualistic,
shared interest.
Do you know how teamwork happens?
It's for shared interest. So,
Because-
I like what Ginger said, because you see, when people say teamwork at the workplace, it's about who shares in my interest would be on my team.
Yes.
If they don't share in my interest, they are not on my team.
Yes.
So you see, let me read this thing so that you can come in. The German who has married a Ghanaian who wrote this article about Ghana's work ethics had this thing to say. He said that I am, besides my daily job, running a guest house, and my workers are mostly on time. However, I have some other small problems like stealing and lying. As a result of that, I had to lay off 4 crews of 3 girls in 2 years.
Baby.
Just 2 years. Tea, milk, jam, soap, cutlery, glasses, cups, also towels, and even bed sheets are disappearing.
Totally true.
In no
sometimes
time.
the guests have been taken.
Yeah, I'll say I admire my girls for their team spirit, because even if all of them know who had stolen
They're
something,
still together, so
they
they,
keep
will own
quiet.
up.
BKB
so
family,
the team
family,
spirit,
family.
some of the people, some of them, the team spirit
That is
they
why I
have.
said a group of 3, 4 batches
Do you
of
know?
yeah.
It's
There's
shared
always
interest.
Anna among
I'll
cliques.
say I recently laid off another girl who I caught sleeping on the job, this time without a guest. And my trusted worker, who has been with me for over 6 years, told me that he has never seen the girl blink her eyes before.
Oh, sir,
And he feels like, when we look at the regular, I hate to do comparisons sometimes with, people who are outside of the black community, but if you look at the regular Chinese man, when you go to the print shops around Newtown, I do a lot of prints, so I'm talking about what I have seen.
Yeah.
You will see them there
Yeah.
working it off with the wife, with the son, with everybody
They are
in
not
their
absentee
business.
managers.
They are folding banners, they are doing this, and you are asking yourself, the regular Ghanaian will rather
So
fold.
that's what I was asking.
Uh-huh.
So what is making the Chinese do it that we are not? Also made me understand church is just an advisory institution. So on there may film. So now what is it educational? Yeah, also mo do mutu fu ye pa ne find there mutu fu keke. So I've my excuse in the church. Where is it coming? Is it labor commission? Is it
No.
Ghana Education Service?
Systemic.
Where is
No.
it politicians?
No, it's coming from, for me.
For me, I'll say systems.
Yeah.
There is, okay, so in
But
sociology.
so
I'm
what
coming.
made the
In
Chinese build
sociology-
systems that will make them
Hold
diligent?
up.
The
In
system
sociology-
made
Is it
them-
their beliefs?
Yeah,
So you
Is
see,
it
Now,
their
it is
their
a system
God?
that are making
if you
people
leave
diligent.
if you leave the ordinary human being,
Do anything we
they will
like.
do anything.
So
they
what
like.
made the Chinese not live
Can I
ordinarily
help?
and did the
It's
systems?
a two-way street. You know, in sociology, there's arguments about
Nature.
and till date, nobody has been able to find out which is greater.
Okay.
So with the Ghanaian, it's a combination of both. Yes, it's a combination of both.
Our nature.
Our nature and our nurturing. It all comes together. You see, you can't pick or choose the Ghanaian.
So if it's
Let me give you
nature, it's genetic.
Let me give you,
Nature is
let me give you an
genetic.
example.
It's from God.
Slave trade, right? Some people will say that what the white man
Like
came
the
to
cigar
do was
lady.
evil. But then we forget that the other didn't do it in isolation. It was our same people, our black men, who were helping them and showing them how to get the people.
Yeah.
So that one is, and so I don't know anything. Said near nature. Then the white man will be the nurturing part. We're nurtured to sell our people, but before then, no, we already, you see, it's innate. You see, if you don't have something in you, it is very difficult for somebody to groom that thing and bring it out of you. Because in an environment where there are offices where there are those people who stand up and we don't like them. We all know that. Every office has that one person
Yeah.
who takes their God personally and is not afraid to show it.
Yeah.
Some don't even have the God, but they still do this, and we don't like them. So the question is, how are they able to thrive in that environment? It is who they are. So you see, if you are, for me, I feel like if you are strong enough in something, right? No matter the opposition you face, it will take a while before you cave.
Yeah.
It is in your nature. So what do you have with
So the Chinese was created different
They were created differently.
by a different
I
God.
think that
No.
mostly
you mean
because
from
you
that.
know
Yeah,
when
because
you take,
genetics come
when you
from
take a look at the
creation.
Chinese system, actually about some years ago, about 50 to 60 years
But
ago,
they have their drawbacks though.
they had issues.
But
they,
collectively,
they
they are
had
saying
issues
they are
with
doing
their
better than
economy.
us.
They had issues with the economy. They had issues with their attitude and stuff like
Everything.
that. Now, one man had to say that. See, we are about to
Enough
correct
is
this
enough.
thing. All right, it's the
And
same
it's the
story
same
of
with
Singapore and
Rwanda.
stuff like.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, Rwanda.
so
Yeah,
I
Singapore.
believe strongly
True.
that systems have a role to play.
Even Ghana wasn't this way. After Nkrumah.
You know, on Saturday, I was having a conversation with my new landlord, and he was telling me the idea behind 8 to 5 from Monday to Friday. And the information he was giving me, I was blown away.
Okay.
He was saying that, smart, you know that Saturday was not really meant for funerals and weddings.
You mean
and-
in Ghana?
Yeah, in Ghana. During a champions time, the Operation Feed Yourself, the new structure was we will work only from Monday to Friday and we will use Saturday to plant.
Okay.
That was the initial idea. Other than that, we would have been working more days like other jurisdictions are having it. But we were in dire need of farm produce because
Like
it
we
was
do need
difficult to, the hunger was killing us. There was farming everywhere. So a champion said that, see, you know what we'll do? Instead of working 6 days, we would work 5 days. And on Saturday, every home must
We'll go to
plant
the farm.
something. So if it's tomatoes, okra, whatever that it is, plant something around your home. But over time, we stop planting.
Yeah.
We stop adhering to that. So if you really take a look at most of our initiatives and our programs and our systems, that is how it begins. It starts off very strong, like the clean your frontage.
No, Ghana
Like
don't have
sanitation. It was like on the
national
first
agenda.
Saturday
You don't have a
of
national
every month
yeah,
or
we don't
something
have a
like that.
national agenda.
It begins, the euphoria is there.
Yeah.
It catches on. Then once we do 1, 2, 3, 4, then everybody lays
No,
back.
it actually starts inconveniencing certain people.
Yeah.
So I know the Operation Clean Your Frontage. It was quashed because certain
Saturday of every month.
certain people were being inconvenienced.
We're not happy about
We're
it.
not happy about it.
So,
and whether we like it,
and
or
when
not,
the Chinese started, there's when some people
No,
inconvenienced.
and the thing is
So
that
you see
How
my
we
my
don't
question?
like
How come? What made the
No,
Chinese
let,
overcome?
let's also
You
note that
close
the
your
politician
shops.
is looking at an interest.
you close your
It is
shops.
our politics
Yeah.
that is
Lucy,
Yeah,
you
he's looking
close
at,
your
he wants
shop.
votes.
So why
and
is the
majority don't
Chinese
like it.
politics right and ours
Okay,
is
so
not?
what Ginger is saying, to bring my mind to it, Pastor Newton is saying interest. So I have a shop. I have to close it on Saturday. Okay.
Not even
Someone
the
is
whole
not
day.
happy.
It's 6
Don't
to
you
10.
think a law will make me keep it closed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A law that is
KB, be
well
honest.
implemented.
So the system. You see why I keep going back to system?
yeah, system.
If I have a shop that I open and I'm going to pay a fine of 3,000 Ghana cedis
If I open
just
it.
by opening the
for
shop.
1 hour cleaning time.
You-
And
you
beyond
really
that,
think
I
would
know
op-
where that 3,000 will go and what it will do. I
Yes.
see it.
that no one will go and sit on it and use it to
Thank
buy
you.
a plane ticket for
But
their
we all
girlfriend.
know that this money is, you see,
You
it's
understand?
lack of respect as well, because look at this new GRA thing. Now
So what's
everybody's
making
paying
the
tax.
Chinese respectful and we are not? I
Their
think
systems
something
are
We are
fundamental
lax. Okay.
that
So
maybe
I
the
see
panel
some
is not
of the
there.
leadership.
The recent World Cup, right? The recent
When they
World Cup.
cleaned after them.
after
So-
the Japanese game, they cleaned the
What
whole
is
stadium.
making them
It's a
clean?
cultural
after?
Of course,
So
they have
Ghana
never.
has Ghana
But
to
it's
have a
humans.
cultural
It's humans that do systems.
Yes,
It's humans
Ghana
that
to
do
has
systems.
a cultural
But you
problem.
see, it's
No.
humans that do the systems,
Yeah.
but it takes the same human beings to enforce.
The system.
Are you willing
so
to
you
enforce?
are the one that is implementing the system. So you are
Your mic,
implementing.
your mic.
And I'm also the one. So once you implement,
I
and then
pick
I
it
come
up.
to check
Yeah.
whether what you are doing is the
Yeah.
right one. Somebody is checking whether my checking on you. So see, checks
Who
and
checks the
balances
checker? In Ghana, we
is
don't have that.
Always apt. And when it is top notch, we will
And
not
there
be
is
having
this,
these
you know,
lapses.
and there is this cultural,
Honestly.
what do you call it?
We buy
thing.
in. See,
Oh,
Ginger,
Beyond,
we
no, but
buy
beyond
in.
that,
The
there is
culture
this
too
who
has
said
a
we are
problem.
brought up. You see, we are brought up to, how do I say it? I think our culture has.
Or
some- to
is it
an
that
extent
democracy
has-
came too early?
No, no, no.
I think
forget
we buy
democracy.
into a lot of bad things. This is why.
Yeah.
So maybe a staff from Ghana Water Company comes to your house.
Yo.
You know you're doing something bad.
Electricity,
Okay, electricity or water, any of
My
the service
illegal
providers.
connection.
All right.
Apart from that,
You know that you're doing something bad. He offers. As a disciplined person, what do you do?
Principle.
You will
Or
get-
let's take in this instance, you have not even done anything wrong. The staff from ECG is saying, "See, I can even adjust your meter. For you.
people are adjusting.
I can adjust your meter for you. If you give me this, I will."
Structural adjustment.
You have a moral courage
Yeah. To say no.
to say no. I won't do it. The regular Ghanaian will say,
Oh yeah.
"I'll wait till
Even
it's
the
also
regular
my
Ghanaian who is earning maybe 30K a month.
Do you know
There is
why?
the big
Ah,
corporation.
the big houses,
Do
the
you
illegal
know why?
connections
No,
in
do
there.
you- I think let me
Let's
profile-
wrap
let
up
me-
and do a part two
Okay,
of
let
this
me try
next.
We
to
have
let
to
me
do
try
it,
to
yeah.
profile.
Yeah,
It's
usually
because
the ones.
you see, it is because we don't see the end from the beginning.
Mm.
If, for example, I know that I pay mine now, when you go and buy things in a well-established place, the taxes that you pay is half the amount of the thing. But the question I keep, what are my taxes doing? I don't see what my taxes. I don't respect you. So why should I give my money to you? So I will evade and
Then
hold
from
on to
what you
my
are
money.
saying, the problem is our politicians.
Not
And-
not
That's-
just
I think the majority.
Yeah, the majority.
So what is making a Chinese politician better than a Ghanaian politician?
It is a moral
You-
conduct. It is a moral. You see,
They also don't have moral
I was,
decadence.
I was going to
The
no,
Chinese,
I was
they
going to
don't?
say go for your cultural system now. Uh-huh. Now say na ibi ankola na say, but those days, you know, if somebody is older than you, there is automatic difference. Whether like
You're
if-
wrong or right.
no, it is there. Why is it that you have a certain person who is before to say somebody at a certain even God forgive me, assemblymen.
It's also your friend Honor.
Now they are lording over us. Because of what? And we are giving them the opportunity because they have been able to rise. It is
Our
a
leadership
problem.
I
here
think
is
there's
It is
more people who
endemic.
can answer my question.